Cancer. Thank you for joining me for your November 2017 forecast. It's such a full month that we have, and I'm using the Ludi Lescaut Tarot that I got from the French Quarter years ago. And I wanted to tell you about a spooky special that I'm having. I love the alliteration. It's if you purchase a 60 or a 90-minute reading with me for the remaining month of October through the full moon of the 4th of November, any 1-hour readings or 90-minute readings that are purchased will receive a free 10-minute reading that can be used either at the end of your reading or at any time for the remainder of 2017, and that's a $40 value. I want to just kind of gauge YouTube a little bit and see where everyone's at, and I also wanted to give something back a little bit to the support of the people from YouTube, as well as my own clientele that I have. So I wanted to start with that, with the spooky special. So let's see what's here for the rest of the month. We've got so much going on. We have a super full moon on the 4th of November. And this is at 11 degrees of Taurus in your 11th house. A lot of 11s are happening here. 11-4 at 11 degrees in your 11th house. So, some closure to friendships. There could be an awareness of your goals, your wishes, the 11th house of clubs and organizations you're connected with, affiliated with. Maybe you're not paying dues for renewing membership in certain companies or corporations, or, I'm sorry, that's not the right word. You're not paying dues for organizations. Full moon is like putting an end to something. Maybe there's a friendship that you've disconnected with and you're not really willing to keep that door open any longer. There could be just a visible awareness in a relationship that you have that you're getting a good glimpse of around that time. This super moon is powerful. That's when moons reach their perigee and they're closest to the earth at that time. She's going to be like a little bulb that we can draw from right from the sky. On the 5th of November, Mercury enters Sagittarius, and this will be conjunct Saturn. And what that means is details and analysis of the health for Cancer and tending to all of the physical checkups, dental, vision, medical, all of it. It's details. It's the best time for this is the 5th through the 30th. And then we have Mercury retrograding in the same spot of health. So it's best to tend to and work and the regimen. It's best to tend to all of those types of appointments prior to the retrograde, because X-rays and things like that, or blood work and test results, all of that should not be handled when Mercury is retrograde, because there's always redos, or you're being read the wrong information, or it's not the right test result somewhere. So it's best to kind of handle that, and Cancer will be inspired to, because Saturn is in this sector for a reason, and he's establishing roots with you in terms of your health and your practices. And you already know what works for you, and diet, and what doesn't. That's all 6th house. And there could also be new pets and animals coming to the home of Cancer and Cancer rising. And please watch all 3 of your forecasts, your birthday, your sun sign, your ascendant, and your moon. Mercury in the 6th is little boy pets and animals coming into the mix, is how I read that too. So you might be adopting or finding your familiar who just comes to you. Familiars are animals who just end up at your doorstep someday. You don't go to get them at the pound and save them. Well, you save them because they need your help and they find you. Those are called familiars. And Mercury here sees a lot of that kind of energy, conjunct Saturn. You're also tending to details in the routine of your day and how your day is structured. That becomes very important to Cancer, and finding the best routes to different places is important for Cancer. On the 7th, Venus enters Scorpio, and all of this Scorpio energy that's happening because Jupiter's there in the 5th house. This is all going to work for Scorpio. through November 8th of 2018, because the water signs are activated when Jupiter is in a sector. Well, any planets are in a sector, but Jupiter being the biggest energy we have in our solar system and representing abundance, prosperity, generating wealth and positivity, having him trining any planetary placements and positioning you have in Cancer, this only works for you. This only increases you. So Venus here is magnificent for attraction and love and well-being and attracting romance and partners to you. Am I just glowing here? I'm looking at the camera and I look like I'm getting lighter and lighter. I think it's the sun behind me. I don't know how I would even attempt to adjust the sun. So let's just see how this happens. I always want to get my lighting situation okay, but you know, what are you going to do? Venus going into the 5th house is romance at its best. And you might find that you are meeting someone, for those of you looking to date and meet. Oh wow, it's getting super bright. I might have to pause this for a minute and figure this out. Gosh, I'm torn. Yeah, let me do that. I'll be right back. Hi. I'm back, and that's so crazy. I had to take it down a level. I'm sorry about that. I'm still new to the environment myself. I'll try to get this all honed in. It's just taking me a little bit. Okay, so I was talking about Venus on the 7th entering into Scorpio, and how because Jupiter's there, all of this is going to work for Cancer because it's filtering positive, harmonious energy and trining the water signs. So Venus meeting the party and conjunct Jupiter is attraction and romance and love. And Cancer who's single is meeting the right person. Cancer who's in relationship is connecting even deeper. This is a win-win. And I love that Jupiter's in your 5th house. So Cancer, pregnancy is a huge option for you. And yes, if you're a female and you are of the right age and you're having sex. So keep that in mind, because where Jupiter is, he expands, and he's in the 5th house of fertility and children. So your chances of becoming pregnant are extremely high between right now and November 8th of 2018, a full year. But in particular, little baby girls are being conceived around the time frame of the 7th, because Venus is the feminine influence. And I don't know, I feel like Cancer, even if you're in your 40s, you could be like, wow, I'm not expecting this and I'm pregnant. It's a shocking kind of energy. So keep that in mind. You know, that might work for some of you. It might not work for others. On the 11th, circle this date, 11/11. There's a lot of 11s. 11/11, that's an angel number too for clairvoyance and guidance. Saturn and Uranus will be at an exact trine of 25 degrees on that day between your 6th house of work and your 10th house of career. This tells me that you are promoting yourself, or you're getting promoted by authority, or if you want more money and if you want to be recognized in career, there's some kind of sudden breakthrough in the positioning of your work, in just the daily routine, and then also the large career. Who's seeing you, boss and authority is seeing you in a powerful way. So this trine harmoniously filters energy of expansion. What you were limited in career or work-wise can now be suddenly a breakthrough with Uranus in the 10th house. So this will work for you in terms of work. On the 18th, we have our new moon at 26 degrees of Scorpio. And this will impact you in the 5th house again. So new moon's in the 5th, gosh, that's a pregnancy too. That's some fertile action. Now, if it's not pregnancy, creative endeavors, independent entrepreneurial pursuits, what creatively inspires you? What are you passionate about? Start your new passions on the 18th. There's a lot of support here, planetary support to push through with creative endeavors. And it's a great new moon for new romance. So be physical and out. Be out. Your physical body needs to be removed from the living room in order for these things to happen. Trust me, I know. It's so hard. Sometimes I'm like, do I watch Will and Grace? Or do I go try to meet someone to spend the rest of my life with? Will and Grace. It's, there's no way to answer that other than Will and Grace sometimes. So, you have to make yourself visible, obviously. And there's a lot of magic for new romance for Cancer. So this is positive vibes for you. On the 21st, the sun enters Sagittarius in the 6th house of work again. So you have 6th house activated, Mercury and Saturn are there, the sun, and it's really about Cancer's schedule. What works best in the route for Cancer? And that includes driving to work, scheduling appointments, the details of your day job, restructuring. There could be a reorg in your work environment too, and that tends to happen because of Saturn. And Saturn in your 6th could see a massive reorg, and he's getting ready to leave this 6th house for you on the winter solstice of this year, 12/21 of 2017. And just before he leaves, he tends to test you one last time. And this is in your work environment. And what I'm getting is reorg, restructuring, seeing if people can report to different people, and with that comes responsibility. So there is responsibility for Cancer, even though there's sunshine in this area. We have Neptune going direct on the 22nd, and there's a beautiful aspect to Neptune and Jupiter. Circle the 29th and 30th. There is beautiful trined energy again, because Pisces, Neptune's in Pisces, and Jupiter in Scorpio, the water sign energy. So this is going to trine whatever natal positionings you have in Cancer. But this is all about the 9th house of what is foreign to you. Foreign travel, education, certification, philosophies, belief systems, spirituality and theology, philosophy. This is the area where there's a feel-good kind of energy, and you might be going on a beautiful trip around that time, or planning to, but don't schedule your trip too quickly in between the time period of December 3rd through December 22nd. Mercury will be retrograde in your 6th house at that time. And that's that health review that I mentioned. If I mentioned it, I can't even remember half the time what I say and what comes out of me and what I'm channeling, and it's all over the place. But Mercury will retrograde and have your review of health and tending to details and work. It's both of those areas. So treasure the 29th and 30th where things feel right. There's a feel-good energy there. Let's see what cards come up for you, Cancer. And I wanted to take a moment to tell you, other than the spooky special, so feel free to book with me and purchase your hour reading or your 90-minute reading for the deal, for the 10-minute free reading. And also the song that you hear on the intro and outro of this video, I've received a lot of comments and messages about it. And yes, I did write it and sang it and recorded it in 2011. It's a song called My Golden Bow, and it is now available for purchase and download in the link below. It's called Bandcamp, the link, and it'll take you right to it. And if you like the song, it's available to you. And I wanted to thank people for inspiring me so much to do something about that, because as a vocalist, I am on iTunes, but I never thought about other areas. If the album didn't get picked up, which it didn't, then it doesn't get the opportunity to go right to iTunes at all, like my other material. So this I had to put out on my own. Anyway, it's available to you, so I thank you for that time. Here's your first card, Cancer. Page of Swords. Look at this sneaky guy. around the alley. He's like a little Jack the Ripper. So something is being communicated to you, and it could be coming in pretty quickly. News, messages. Let's see what else is here before I go off. Six of Wands. This is a beautiful card. I love, love, love this deck. It's so romantic and beautiful and kind of creepy. So Six of Wands is victory. This is accomplishment, reward. Oh, sixth house. Mercury, Saturn, the sun. Your Mercury retrograde. The sixth house of work and health. You're being rewarded. And maybe you were passed up for promotion. And on the 11th, with that trine between the 6th house and the 10th house of career and elevation, you might get what you need. And that could be the news delivered to you easily. Let's see what else is here. Well, this is reversed. Four of Cups, but I like that it was reversed. You are the cups, you are the water, the emotion, the intuitive energy, Cancer. But Four of Cups upright isn't good. So reversed, which is the way I pulled it, getting away from sadness, putting the booze down. Upright, it could be, a lot of emotional, liquored up energy sometimes. Or just distraught energy, or thinking about the same thing a lot, regret, remorse. But this means it's getting away from you. You can put down the blame, Cancer. Nobody's buying it, okay? Let's see what else is here. Your final card, Three of Coins, the artist, 5th house, creative endeavors. See how he's painting? I don't know if this lighting is ever going to work. Here we go. He's like chiseling, painting, he's creating, sculpting. He's making his creation, which is available to you with the 5th house. Jupiter there. I mean, are you kidding me? This is the year for the artists to get paid for their work. And, oh, maybe that's why I went into such detail. This is the only video where I talked about iTunes and my own, stuff as a vocalist and a writer. But I think it's drawing out of me, honestly, because if there's ever a year for you to put your own artistic works out into the world, it's from this moment until November 8th of 2018. And you'll have assistance in pushing it out to the world, leveraging it out. I also want to say the chances of getting picked up or received as a writer, as an artist, as a vocalist, musician, performer, actor, huge success rate this year because of Jupiter in the 5th. So it's not just pregnancy. It's going to apply to Cancerians differently. If you want a specific reading that's just for you, consider booking your spooky special with me. Now's the time to get a reading too, because I don't do that very often, and I'm excited to see how it goes. Cancer, I appreciate you. I think there's reward and news and you releasing past sadness this month and pursuing your artistic endeavors with a fervor and a passion, which is the 5th house. This is the time to initiate it and the full year to manifest it. Thank you so much. I am very appreciative of you watching the forecasts and for your subscriptions and your donations. I am wishing you a beautiful November, Cancer. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.